why being a lone wolf just doesn't work. This one is something very dear to my heart. I want to speak to doing it yourself, lone wolfing it. And this is massive for men, right? So men have such a complex around this, and there are various reasons why. And without going too deeply into it, part of it is systemic, part of it is the collective ideals and values that permeate our society. Part of it is this misconceived understanding of what masculinity is and what it means to be a man. Part of it is these values that come in and permeate our family dynamics and tell us, media's part of that as well, that tell us that if you're hyper or highly independent, that's a healthy thing. The reality is we're relational beings, and lone wolfing life, lone wolfing issues, lone wolfing challenges, lone wolfing difficulties that you experience in life is not going to be useful to your life's journey, and it's not going to be useful to those around you. You're going to experience immense frustration, you're going to experience agitation, density in your emotions, sadness. You're going to feel isolated. You're not going to feel that you're grounded, and that you're not going to feel stable psychologically, and you're going to probably feel like a mess emotionally if you continue to lone wolf it. My personal experiences have been that when I lone wolf it, I get stuck. I feel isolated, I feel alone, I don't feel connected to my friends and family, to those that I can lean on support on, but I choose not to, because somewhere in my mind I've developed this ideal that if I do it alone, I become of more value. I'm more worthy. I have this agreement with myself that if I do something alone, if I overcome a really difficult challenge, whether it's something physical, in business, emotional, whether it's hitting a milestone in my entrepreneurial career, or whether it's problem solving something deep and emotional within myself and moving through something, I have this idea that I'm worth more. And so I wear that like a badge of honor. So the more difficult the task, the more difficult something is to overcome, I wear that as a badge of honor. And when I really peel that back, to be just very honest and very raw here, that really comes down to self-worth. And that sort of thing, that's just for me, that's for so many of us. When we look at basic and even complex psychology, when we're really pushing the envelope on proving ourselves, whether it's to ourselves or whether it's to others, our peers, those that are in our in-group, why are we doing that? We need to ask ourselves those questions. It's so important to ask ourselves those questions. And more often than not, it's coming from a place of lack or scarcity, that we feel we are not enough, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not capable enough. And so we become high achievers, and the more difficult the challenge, the more powerful and the more value we perceive to have. Now, that can actually work for us in certain situations. More often than not, it doesn't. And more often than not, I've found in my life that when I isolate myself and I lone wolf problems, I also push people away. People become distant from me because I'm agitated. My persona isn't pleasant. I make myself be alone. I don't talk to people, I don't connect, I have a closed down heart. Now, I can't speak for everyone, of course, but I work with thousands of people. I work with so many people on a daily basis as individuals and in groups, going really deep into their psyche, deep into trauma, deep into childhood wounding, deep into who am I today and who do I want to be, and really clearing out the clutter of the past to help people get really clear on where they are today and who they want to be. And again, the common theme is this low self-worth connected to I'm not enough. That's part of it, that's not the whole story, of course, but these ideals that we have around having to do life on our own is perpetuated by pressure from society and perpetuated by this low sense of self-worth. And this is just this is a generalization, and there's great truth here. So if this resonates with you, take that and keep thinking deeply into this. Now, when I'm talking about reaching for support, it's not necessarily healthy to reach for support with just anyone. We need to be able to reach for support with people that actually see us, that understand us, that carry compassion, that share similar values, that will be very honest with us, very transparent with us, that will pull us forward and inspire us, but that will also challenge us, but challenge us in a healthy way. And that's what a solid tribe of people does. Now, again, if you become isolated from your problems and isolated from the pain that you're experiencing, and you don't share that with anyone, you're not getting any reflection back. In some of the deep men's group work that I do with an organisation called Sacred Sons, we really allow men to see each other. The shadow work that we do and the deep work that we do is about mirroring and reflecting without judgment and with compassion, to see each other in a light that men have never been seen before. Now, when we do this as a tribe and we do this as a group, there is a great power that comes from it. I'm not talking about autocratic or controlling power. I'm talking about a core essence, a power that comes, an authentic power that comes within that's been suppressed for so long. Because the reality is, the truth is, we are relational beings, we are social beings. And more than anything else, we are cooperative beings. Yes, we compete, and we compete to up-level and grow and expand. Largely, we are cooperative beings. And coming from this place and relying on others that we trust, respect, and revere, and that's a key, and that's got to be reciprocal and that's got to be mutual. There's a great deal of power in that. And so, as I give more thought and more attention to this lone wolf, I want to share something with you that I've been experiencing the last few days. Maybe the last probably 3-4 weeks being here has been very challenging for me, in the sense that I have felt a great deal of isolation. A lot of old stuff's been coming up, the environment is triggering that. And for the most part, I've kept it to myself. I haven't wanted to share. Now, not because I'm embarrassed or I'm experiencing shame, because I feel stubborn and stuck with that. And that's been an old energy of the past that's also been carried into the present. And I've allowed that. I take full responsibility for that. I've been in that space and I've chosen not to shift from it. And it hasn't served me. It's distanced me from my beloved. I'm grateful and very blessed that she's been compassionate, she's been empathetic and understanding with me and with us during that period. And if I'd continued that behavior without being transparent and voicing where I'm at and the processes, the internal processes that I'm experiencing, the distance wouldn't have been healthy at all. I've been in solitude with it. Now, solitude's okay. Solitude's healthy because it's deliberate and it's really going into self to be self-reliant, but we can be over self-reliant, where we spend too much time in solitude and becomes isolation. We become alone. That comes from fear. That comes from not wanting to be seen. That comes from experiencing shame and guilt and pain. And when we get stuck in that fear and we act from that fear, we push people away. And really, we can't see ourselves with clarity because we're so stuck in our pain. We need the mirroring, we need the perspectives, the new perspectives from other people to enlighten us and to serve us and help us. And so when I've been sharing that with certain men in my life, I've been feeling freer and liberated because I haven't felt alone in my journey. So I feel that support, and in that support I feel creative and spaciousness in my psyche and in my heart and in my body, and I'm able to problem solve and able to be with what I'm experiencing with greater efficacy and a greater calmness because I know that I'm not alone. So the moral of this particular story is, don't be alone. Don't lone wolf your life. Find people that you trust, respect, and revere, and go with them, be with them, share yourself, and allow them to share with you and grow in that process. And you will have an amazing life. And life won't always be easy, and that's okay. If you're supported, you're healthy. Power and blessings to you.